on the set in 3, 2, 1, going live.
All right, man, we got a great guest on our show today. I'll be introducing him in a couple minutes. This is going to be a fun show. I do want to say welcome to another episode of HB Unplugged. I'm Mel Craig.
I'm Rick Brown.
And Rick Brown is kind of stepping in for Don Ramsey. He had a family issue that he had to take care of, so wish him all the best. He had to, I guess, drop his son off at a football game or something like that.
He sure did.
So he can't be here today. So nonetheless, we got Rick. Rick's an outstanding, as you know, Rick's been on the show 2 times now.
And it's a privilege to be here with Mr. John Etheridge today.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
So, Rick, right off the bat, I want to see. Remember what we did on the last week episode? We did talk about letting everybody know the upcoming events. So we went through and blasted a lot of events. But so coming up, March 23rd is the VW's Don Ramsey's Cowabunga Van Con. They call it Cars and Coffee at McKenna VW. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's from 9 to 11 on March 23rd. So it'd be a good event to go to. It's a couple hours, have some donuts, kill your heart, whatever, have some coffee, get all vibrated out, whatever. And then Saturday, April 12th is HSS Demo Days, which is always a big event. I have a blast with that one. You got anything? I'm going to introduce you in a minute, but John, do you have something to say about the HSS Demo Days?
HSS Demo Days is unbelievable. It's such a great opportunity to get out there and get some good equipment.
Yeah,
right. On the demo side, you get a deal.
Yeah, nothing you can't get.
The Pye family is incredible. We're a great partner in the city.
And another one that John probably will hammer home a big time is on the 19th of April. 19th Saturday is the Kiwanis Club Easter. Now that's a badass event for the kids.
Yeah, that's
incredible. All the families. Yeah. So why don't you? Because I go to it, but why don't you highlight it, John, real quick? And I'm going to introduce you in a minute.
So the event takes place on the Saturday before Easter.
Right.
Last year we had about 30,000 people attend. So the kids come out. We get the candy donated from some of the partners in our community. Tombo Taekwondo donates a lot of the candy. We have 40 vendor booths that are just community-minded vendors that want to support the Kiwanis Club that helps kids. We have the fire department comes out and does all the cooking, so we have food available. The police department comes out and has static demos. They have the SWAT team there. They have the canine team there. They have the equine team there. They called it the MEU, the Mounted Enforcement Unit. The fire trucks will be there. We have a egg drop where you can buy an egg for $5, and if your egg falls in the basket, right, we use the fire truck to drop the eggs. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So, and it's a fundraiser for the Kiwanis Club. We'll raise roughly $20,000, and that money then will go directly out into the hands of the most needy in the community. So,
wow, fantastic!
But the Easter egg hunt is a blast for the kids. They have a dunk tank for all the celebrities, and they have a great time. It's a lot of fun.
Don's been the dunker for the past couple, but I understand Pat, the mayor, Pat Burns, is going to be dunked this year. So
Pat's been in it. Gracie was in it last year.
I'm going to go throw my sidearm, see if I can dunk it.
We always have a lot of political dunkies and city officials. We've had the fire chief, we've had the police chief. It's always fun.
And that's Saturday, April 19th, the Kiwanis Club Easter. You got to see it to believe it. That's how it's utterly amazing.
We have carnival games. We have live music. So much fun for the kids.
It's a big event for the kids. Yeah.
Sure.
So let's get right on to the show, man. What I'm going to say is, I've been trying to get you on the show for a while. John Etheridge is very, very busy, and let's give him a big hand. Let's welcome John to the show, and let's see what we can do to get this crowd knowing who John Etheridge is and what you're all about. Look at the crowd, boy. They're all going nuts. They've been waiting for you. Yeah. So, first off, let's start off with your family. Because Carla plays a big part of a lot of things that you do, and every time I see you, usually I see her tagging along most of the time. So, let's talk about a little bit about your family, because you are a family man.
Sure.
In fact, you're making kind of a big move coming up here soon. So
we are. So Carla and I,
we think you're crazy, but go ahead.
We're having our 30th anniversary this year, Carla and I. So we're super stoked about that, and we have 3 daughters, all adults, all married. 2 of the 3 have kids and live in Tennessee.
He's grandma and grandpa.
So that's the big move that he's talking about there. We will be heading to Tennessee here in the next 6 months and living there full time. We're trying to keep our house here, but there's a lot of moving parts to that.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
But I'm stoked. I mean, we own a business here in town. I'm going to keep the business, so I'll fly back and forth. One of my youngest daughter is a flight attendant, so I get to fly for free on United Airlines, so I can fly all over the world for free.
Well, that's what was going to be one of my questions is, you're moving to Tennessee, but I'm assuming you're going to stay pretty involved here in Huntington Beach anyway. Yeah.
I'm going to stay on the Surfing Walk of Fame board. I'm going to stay on the Huntington Beach Police and Community Foundation board. I'll stay involved with the Kiwanis Club because that's super close to my heart. So I'll stay involved.
Good. Fantastic. All right. So, all right. First off the bat is, the Surfing Walk of Fame. We've talked about this on so many episodes already and how amazing it is to live in Huntington Beach. And, when you think surf communities, I've told this to everybody so many times already, it's sort of becoming a repeat thing. But, I've grown up in Carlsbad in all my younger years surfing. And, I've been to Santa Barbara, Santa Cruz, San Clemente, San Diego, up and down the coast. And everybody has an amazing surf community, even San Francisco. Yeah. You go down to the shore in San Francisco, they got a great surfing community there. But nothing like Huntington Beach. It's the heart and soul, in my eyes, of the surfing community.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, they call it Surf City, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah, exactly.
And, I mean, it's 7 miles of beach. It's unbelievable. You don't have a lot of opportunities to have a beach like that.
So let's talk about your Walk of Fame. What role do you play? And
so I have been the president of the Surfing Walk of Fame since 2017.
Wow.
I took over for Don McAllister, who is a legend in our community.
One of the founders.
One of the founders. We lost him a few years ago. So it was founded by Don McAllister, Peter P.T. Townend, and Mike Abdelmoudi, the owner of Jack's at the time. His son Jamal and Ron Abdel Fattah now manage and own Jack's. But it's kind of their baby. It was Mike's baby, his idea to create a place in the community that could honor surfing and surf history and surf culture. And I think they've done an amazing job. It's an absolute honor for me to serve with them and to do that. Our new president, Tom Herbell, is an employee of the city. He's an engineer for the city. He's the chief engineer, actually, for the city. Now I'm the treasurer, and I'm happy to have stepped back a little bit from that, the president role. And what an honor it was. Super fun. It's like, my joke is I call it philanthropic dessert, right? It doesn't really benefit anybody, but the surf community, right? It benefits those who have come before us, right? Those of us who really love the history of surfing.
The pioneers.
It's unbelievable some of the things I've learned, some of the people I've met.
Oh, yeah.
It's really incredible.
Yeah, that's the whole part of this. And Rick, you're on the board as well, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. And when he's being very humble today because, the old 80-20 rule where you have, 20% of the people do 80% of the work.
Yeah.
This guy represents that tenfold. John was wearing so many hats, and there's a few guys that were doing a lot of the work, and he's right at the front every single time.
Well, I think that holds true for all three of us that are sitting here. We're kind of that 20% part of that 80-20 rule. And
you can't help but, I mean, being here this many years now, I came in 1980. I left back to San Diego, but came back a couple years later. But to be here so long and to really see the HB community grow and thrive the way it has its negative and positive. A lot of people don't like some of the things that happen downtown, the tourist thing. But nonetheless, it is a place that we call home. And guys like us, we feel like we want to be a part of it. We don't just sit back and watch. We're like, hey man, that's pretty cool. I want to meet that guy.
Yeah.
John, I want to meet John. When I met Rick, a couple times I met him, I was like, who the hell is this guy? Because he keeps popping up everywhere. I want to get to know him, Sure. And that's how next thing you know, we're best friends. We hang out together, we do stuff together, we put projects together, and it's all part of the fun part of HB. And you're right, that Walk of Fame, it may not be something that really, I don't know. I think you explained it best. Go ahead.
No, I think what's important about the Surfing Walk of Fame is it's during the U.S. Open of Surfing, and that's when it's probably the biggest surfing contest in the world. But over an 8-day period, we have like 1 million people that come to Huntington Beach. And right in the middle, on that Thursday morning, we close down Main Street, and we have the Surfing Walk of Fame. And now it's become a fabric of what happens during that week-long period of time where the surfing
during the U.S. Open,
the surfing world comes to Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
So it's a fabric of what happens during that surfing week here in Huntington Beach, and and really I think a lot of credit goes to John, and he's just putting his stamp of excellence on everything we do. So we make sure that all the details are covered, and everybody really enjoys being a part of what we do. A lot of times we'll have a pre-party the night before.
Yeah,
we have a luncheon the day of after the event over at Duke's over in Pier Plaza. And everyone looks forward to it. It's probably one of the most anticipated events in Huntington, above and beyond the.
And I try to tell people, from San Diego to Santa Barbara and everybody in between, man, get down here because it's so amazing. One year I got to meet and take photos with Kelly Slater, Jerry Lopez, Rod Stewart, for God's sakes. I was down on Pier Plaza and I go, man, he came up with there was these 3 girls and another guy with him and they were walking up and I go, how many people say you look like Rod Stewart? This lady goes, because he is Rod Stewart. I was like, whoa, cool. I remember him from, anyway, it was really fun.
The U.S. Open is such an amazing week in Huntington Beach. I'm hopeful that the United States or the International Olympic Committee,
we're all
makes a decision that they're going to run the Olympics here.
We've all said the same thing. This would be the venue.
It's totally the venue.
When you talk about lowers and stuff, we were talking about this last week. The parking is going to be an issue. The walk is going to be an issue. I mean, you got to figure that's a long walk, and there's going to be people that can't attend because they don't have the physical ability to get down there and watch the U.S. Open. And here we have a venue that's perfect for it.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, our venue is so amazing. They're talking about maybe having it Northside, which would be cool.
Yeah, man. Let's just hope
the wave's better that time.
It's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to happen.
Right.
Kiwanis. I mean, you actually got me fired up one day. I went to a couple meetings and stuff. I just am so busy because I got my 3 businesses to run and stuff. So it's hard for me to get away and commit to certain things. But I loved what you were doing. I went to the meetings. I enjoyed. Talk a little bit about Kiwanis. What is it? A lot of people ask me all the time, what is Kiwanis?
Yeah. So I didn't know what Kiwanis was. I joined in 2007 and got invited by a realtor who was a friend of mine.
Right.
Just come down and check it out. And I was like, I own a pest control company, so I was trying to get her business to kill her termites when she sells a house. So I went down. I had no idea. I'd never heard of Kiwanis. I'd heard of Key Club in high school, but I wasn't part of that clique.
Right.
But the Kiwanis Club is so much about community and about helping those in need. Really the bookends, right? The little kids and the old people who need help, right? And as affluent as Huntington Beach is, there are people in our community that are hungry every single day. There are people in our community that don't have a comfortable place to sleep every single day.
Yeah.
That can't clean their own home. The Kiwanis Club raises money. We raise about $100,000 every year, and that money goes directly out. We have 0 overhead. That money goes directly out into the community.
People.
Yeah, the people who need help. We're nimble. I like to use that term, nimble. If somebody calls, we have an organization within the Kiwanis Club called the Angels Group. If somebody calls and says, hey, we're going to get kicked out of our hotel room. We're homeless. We're living in a hotel room. We're going to get kicked out if we don't get $1,200 today. We have the ability to just go, boom.
Wow.
You're good for another month. Now, is that going to save their life? I don't know, but it may, right?
Right.
That's a family with kids that's going to be on the street.
It's an amazing opportunity.
And we're nimble to do that because we've been raising money for years. And that organization is so altruistic and dedicated to community. It was so attractive to me. I've been the president twice. I'm the immediate past president. And again, Don McAllister was a part of that. Yeah. So
it's funny. Cynthia Varnell was always, Mel, you'd be a great member. And plus you're good at fundraising. Your voice is good. Be a part of this. And again, I was just, but I did go to a couple meetings, and she asked Karen and I to be Santa Claus.
Yeah.
At Walmart, that day.
At Walmart.
That was fun. We had a blast. I had the whole suit. Oh, it was a kick, and we really enjoyed it. And I love kids, and so we had a great time with all of them. It's funny, John. If people want to give to Kiwanis, if they want to donate or something, do you guys allow that? Or?
We do. You can donate directly through the website. It's hbkiwanis.org.
Perfect.
We have so many organizational components. We have a golf tournament each year where we're raising money. We have the Easter egg hunt, which we've mentioned today. Where we're raising money. We do pancake breakfast at 4th of July.
Lake Park?
We take Lake Park.
Yeah.
We close Lake Park down and we make the pancake breakfast. We serve probably, 1,500.
Yeah, every year I go.
breakfasts.
So Don has the buses in the park, right? So when we get up in the morning, Karen's like, I got to make breakfast. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just go get the bus parked, get it all set up, and we'll just walk down, and we have Kiwanis is down there with all the food you can eat, and we'll get stuff down there.
Yeah. Our current president, Dana Pike, she and her husband, James Pike, he's the reverend over at Resurrection Lutheran Church.
Cool.
He's also one of the chaplains for Huntington Beach PD and Huntington Beach Fire.
Oh, cool.
He's a chaplain. So, and it's great to have them super involved in the community like that. They really get their fingers on the pulse of the needs of the community. So it's we're really lucky to have both
I
of them.
think a great event too that he does during Christmas time at Walmart. I think talk a little bit about that because they take these underprivileged kids and they take them shopping.
Shopping. That's what I was Santa Claus.
He was
there.
Santa Claus.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
mean. Yeah, I was Santa Claus there. Yeah.
So we call that event Clothe the Children.
Oh,
And we get those kids from the Boys and Girls Club. We get them from school principals who know families that are underprivileged, that are hurting, that need clothing.
excellent.
We get them from Robin's Nest. We get them from the Homeless Youth Shelter. There's so many organizations that are Orangewood Children's Home. They come to us with needs, and we can fulfill those needs. We take 150 kids out. They get $200 a piece. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we spend that $30,000 giving those kids hope for the next school year. Right? They get shoes. They get to select them. Right? When you're shopping with your parents and you have a really hard budget, you can have $8 for a pair of shoes, and instead we bring them into Walmart and they get a $40 pair of shoes if they want them.
Right.
Because it's dignity is a lot of filling that gap when you have needs. Is to not.
Well, I think one of the nicest things that you just said is, matter of fact, I'm getting involved in a charity right now for Revivify, my company, and we're trying to figure out. I'm a veteran. Don's a veteran. A lot of my applicators around the country are veterans. So I thought, okay, I want to give to a veterans community with all the revenue we're generating, and I want to give back. And I've been looking into all these different charities, and a lot of them are, kind of greedy. They don't give the money to the veteran, or it kind of gets lost, and veterans don't. So it was really good to hear you say when the money comes in, it's going to
Totally.
directly to the people that really need the help.
One of the events, I'm glad you mentioned veterans. One of the events that the Kiwanis Club does every year, 4 times a year, we do deployments and return from deployment at Los Alamitos Joint Forces Base.
Wow.
So
unreal.
we serve breakfast, or not breakfast, we serve lunch for like 250 to 500 soldiers and their families.
Whoa.
And the Kiwanis Club pays for all that. We pay for the burgers.
Just Huntington Beach Kiwanis or all?
Just Huntington Beach Kiwanis.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unreal.
It's super fun. This year,
And is Kiwanis U.S. or is it global?
it's global. Yeah, it's an
Wow.
international organization, very large organization. There's 300,000 clubs in the world, so it's a big.
Everybody watching this show, this is the kind of thing that really is why we put HB Unplugged together, to kind of open your eyes to what's going on out there. And, guys like John who are paying the price along with the rest of the team in Kiwanis. Cynthia was, she was like my little sister.
Irreplaceable, too.
Yeah, unreal. And what they do here and what they're trying to do is worthy of a donation. It's worthy of you guys contributing, or maybe even, I don't know, Don, is there people out there that in podcast land in Huntington Beach here that can help? Is there things they can do to volunteer or something?
We're always asking for volunteers. There's always extra hands. The thing I like to say the most is many hands make light work.
Yeah.
Right. The more hands you have to help, the easier it's going
Excellent.
to be. The more families can be helped if there's more helpers.
Yeah.
So
And all this can be, let's do it one more time I'm going to have Alex put it on the screen where you see, and it'll be, there it is right there. There you go. So it's going to have the website, which is?
hbkiwanis.org.
There you go, hbkiwanis.org. Is there a phone number anybody can call?
There's no phone number. We don't have somebody
That's
manning
fine.
a phone or
That's
anything
cool.
like that.
Yeah,
Just
that's
go
very
directly to the website, and we'll be able to get back to you pretty quick.
Next is the HB Community Foundation. Yeah, I've been to a couple of those meetings too, and Rob was telling me what it was all about and stuff. And so let's hit on that one.
So the Police and Community Foundation was really started in 2015. There were 6 of us, along with our former chief, Rob Handy.
Yeah.
I was one of the original members. And it was an honor to be asked to be participating in that, because I really support everything law enforcement does. I mean, they are the line between chaos and the rest of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
We're all
wanted to
that.
do anything I could do as a business owner and as a community member to try and help with that. And when the police chief comes to you and says, "Hey, can you help me with this?" Most of us with community mindedness anyway would step up and say, "Yeah, I'll do that." So that organization, since 2015, we're just having our 10-year anniversary this year.
Wow.
Since 2015, we've raised $1.3 million, and it's gone back out for again, I'll use the word nimble needs, right? We lost a police dog here in town. A lot of people don't know about that, but a police dog cost the police department $27,000 to get a trained police dog ready to be on the streets. Well, that's not a budgeted item in the police department.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
I
It's
wouldn't have
strange,
guessed that. I would think
but
it
it's
would
not
be.
budgeted.
Wow. Unreal.
So the organization that I work with, the Huntington Beach Police and Community Foundation, we have the ability to just write that check. Boom, done. Next
Unreal.
day, it's in. We have community donors that bring that money to our table and say, yeah, we want to help with this dog. Same thing with mounted enforcement, right? The horses, not a budgeted item.
Unreal.
You want to hear the craziest thing about the dogs? So a police officer, the bulletproof vest is about $600 for a bulletproof vest for a police officer.
Right.
You know what it costs for a dog? $3,600.
Whoa.
Yeah. I can't believe that. And when I found that out, it was amazing to me. But
Probably has to be custom fitted and everything.
custom
else, yeah.
fitted, everything like that. And we have the
Mylar,
ability to do
whatever,
that.
yeah.
And everybody gets
Unreal.
one. Yeah, everybody gets a Kevlar vest.
Oh, Kevlar, that's right. Yeah.
We lost a helicopter pilot, 2021, Nick Vella, or 2022, pardon me, Nick
always
Vella. It was just
a
the
sad
3-year
day for
anniversary.
everybody, yeah.
And we had the ability to help his family immediately with some needs they had. Right, the POA comes in, and their organization really is amazing to help police officers' families who have experienced loss.
Let them know what POA is.
The Police Officers Association. That's another organization that is really run by the police department. They have elected leaders within that board, but that organization is also another amazing organization, and they're not as nimble, unfortunately, right? They don't have the ability. They have to go through some hoops to give that money out to those families.
We call it red tape.
It's red tape, right? So we don't have any of that.
That's a
we can just go boop, check, next.
Yeah.
And that was a real honor to be able to help with that. It was heartbreaking to lose Nick. Nick was an amazing guy, fun. And this year we're having the Nick Vella Memorial horseback ride on the beach.
Whoa.
A very rare
you know that?
opportunity.
No.
Yeah. So it's May 17th this year. It's roughly 200 horses, maybe 250 horses.
Has
and
it been
riders.
done before?
It'll be our third annual,
With the horseback ride?
With the horseback ride.
Wow. So
Yeah,
we got
and
some photos.
Yep.
Oh, look, we got some photos up already. Yeah, this is going to be good.
It's an unreal event to watch. It's a fundraiser for the Huntington Beach Police and Community Foundation. And again, that money will go back out into the needs of the
Where do
community.
the 200 horses come from?
They're privately owned.
Okay.
So
Oh, yeah.
you own a horse in Corona, you want to ride on the beach, you can't. You know when you can?
On that day.
May
Is
17th.
the
Yeah.
Equestrian Center involved?
The Equestrian Center is a place where they centrally locate the horses the day of.
Okay.
And then they'll drive down to the beach parking lot and turn them loose. And we'll ride essentially from Beach Boulevard all the way to the pier, under the pier, and then back around. It's killer. It's such a great thing to see.
I've been able to ride on the beach down in Del Mar.
Yeah.
I grew up a cowboy.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
a team roper.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, full on team roper.
Really?
Yeah, I was a header. Yeah.
Wow.
My best friend Dean Thornberry was a healer.
Oh, super cool.
I rode so many rodeos. Yeah, it was unreal. All my friends called me the surfing urban cowboy.
Wow, I
That's
love
what-
it.
Yeah, so
I
I
didn't
was
know
big.
that about you.
Yeah, I was a big time winner too. We did a lot. We roped Arizona, Northern California, New Mexico. We roped everywhere. We trailered our horses.
Killer.
Yeah, I had a ranch in Valley Center.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah.
One of the greatest things that the Huntington Beach Police and Community Foundation has done, which is amazing that it wasn't a budgeted item, we put AEDs, automatic electronic defibrillators, in every single police car.
Wow.
Right? That was a $50,000 bill to do that, and they weren't in the police cars. Since then, 3 lives have been saved. 3 Huntington Beach
Because you
lives
had
have been
it.
saved because
Wow.
of that
Unreal.
item. That's priceless.
So let's go on to that real quick. What's the website? Can people donate? I'm sure they can.
Of course, yeah.
So what's the website?
It's hbpcf.com. Or you can go to hbpcf.org.
Yeah, we got it on the screen. Yeah,
Yep.
there it is up there. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, cool. Next is this is a really big one because I joined the chamber, and it changed my life in Huntington Beach. And again, guess who got me involved in the chamber?
Cynthia.
Yeah. One day, she comes up to me and
she's
we're just talking away, and she said, "So what do you do? How is your detailing business waterless? What do you mean?" I explained it all to her, and she goes, "Wow, we have this event on the pier called Eco-Friendly Days. I don't even know if they still do it, but it's called Eco-Friendly Days." And so I showed up at there and I showed my wares and talked to, and it really was a start for me in Huntington Beach. And that's when she introduced me to Victoria and other people that were involved in the chamber. Might have even met you back then, not even knowing. But I got involved in the chamber, and it was really my launch pad. It was really my launch pad to get the business really rocking here in Huntington Beach. Made all the difference in the world. So you were at one time the president of the chamber.
No, I've never been the president of our chamber here in Huntington. I've been involved for many years, 20 years.
Yeah.
But never been the president.
Okay.
But closely involved. I think it's one of the most amazing chambers of commerce in the world.
Yeah.
My organization, my work life, Seashore Pest Control, we cover a pretty big area, but the Huntington Beach Chamber is so integral to my business life because I'm here. My business is here.
Yeah, same here.
And they have so many events that are great opportunities to meet others. And I'll use the term, and I don't mean to use this condescendingly, the chamber is full of superconductors, people that know the guy.
Human spark plugs.
Hey, I know that guy. Hey, do you know the guy that does that? Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Right? And half the people are asking for you.
Yeah.
Half the people are asking for Rick. You know what I mean? And somebody in the chamber knows the guy or the girl that can do your thing.
Or knows somebody that knows somebody that'll get you there. Yeah,
so
exactly.
I love the superconductor part of
That's
it.
a great way to look at it. I never looked at it that way.
Yeah.
Good analogy.
Yep.
John, what is the footprint for Seashore Pest Control? I mean, how big is that? Orange County? Is that also LA County?
Yeah, we do all of Orange County, most of LA County, parts of Riverside. I don't go into San Diego, but it's a big enough area.
Yeah.
The pest control world is such a strange world. There's so much work in our world that we can't do it all as an industry.
Wow.
Every single one of us turns work away every single day.
Wow.
That's how busy it is.
John has shared in the past he can't hire enough people.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many trucks do you have on the road?
I have 5 trucks on the road currently, plus 3 inspector trucks.
Okay.
The inspector trucks are owned by the inspectors, so I don't have to deal with the headache of those. But 5 crew trucks that are out in the world. We had 9 before COVID, and COVID kind of downsized us a little bit. We were considered essential, if you put air quotes around that. That time was such a strange time for the world. But people didn't want us in their homes. Right?
My business wasn't essential.
It doesn't matter if you're essential or not. If they don't want you in their house, you ain't getting paid.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day,
it's like, what do we do for work?
I lost $400,000 2 years in a row.
Yeah. How you gonna honey? Well, we need food.
Yeah, exactly. So it was an interesting time, and we downsized a little bit through that. Just the wood part of my business, we used to do full wood repair and things like that, but we stopped doing that through COVID.
Cool. If somebody wants to, get in touch with you on the pest control side,
it's easy. SeashorePest.com.
There you go. We
have a pretty good reputation. We're around. I have 20,000 customers. So
on a side note, it was brought to my attention because I told you when I got here to Huntington Beach, I needed help and support. Chip Foose is the one that got me to move here. Very close friend. Although he didn't have space for me in his shop, he tried, but we didn't have space in my shop. There's no way I could. But he's the one that said, hey Mel, you need to be up here with all of us down there. Yeah. Okay, I'll move back. And Rich Evans.
Oh yeah.
Ended up we I've known Rich for a lot of years through the industry, and he said, Mel, you need a place. I got, the castle thing, everyone knows. Yeah. So he said, look, I'm not using one whole side of my building. You can just move into that, and that should be your training center, your detail center, make it all. So, and Rick brought to my attention that your daughter, Rick's daughter, and Rich's daughter all played on the same soccer team.
Yeah, I coached that soccer team.
Sure did. And what was the name of that team?
It was called the Navy Seals.
Yeah,
it was an homage to our Navy veterans, and Rick and I are both huge military supporters, just in awe of the things that the United States military
thanks for your
does.
support.
Thank you for doing it. You know what I mean? It's an honor to know you and to know vets like you. So, but we kind of did that, not as a joke, but as an homage. So, and we won the championship that year. So with those kids,
really cool,
and Rick, Rich Evans.
Rick wouldn't let it go. He's like, I gotta mention this, man. This is cool.
Rich Evans' daughter, Lytra. She's just married and has a baby now. And it's unbelievable watching these kids grow up. So, Rick's daughter, Anna too. So it's just it's been killer. And I don't know.
Rich is still active. He's still here in Huntington Beach. He's still got, but he's moved to Arizona too. He's got his business there. But
when I took over that team, I knew one thing about soccer: you can't touch it with your hands. That's the only thing I knew about soccer. We won the championship that year, and we had so much freaking fun. Didn't the kids have fun?
Oh, they had a blast. They had a blast. You know, and they weren't always we didn't always have the best athletes, but they played extremely well as a team.
Yeah.
And that's because we practiced well, we practiced hard, and
good.
the girls all had fun. We had that fun aspect of it.
Every day we would say, look, it's funner to win. And the girls would bark at me, you know, funner isn't a word, coach. Well, it is, because you know what it means. It's funner to win. It is funner to win.
Well, we've had John here as a guest on our show, and as you can see, you know, this is the kind of camaraderie that is very common in Huntington Beach. I mean, you see it all the time. I always tell people this is a community that once you get involved, and I wish everyone would get involved in the community. On a positive note, you know, any involvement is involvement. And when you do, man, you fall in love.
Yeah.
I mean, you fall in love with Huntington Beach. You fall in love with the people. You fall in love with everything that has to do with it. Go ahead, Ricky.
I was going to mention one of the fun aspects of the air show that John's been involved with in the past is he had the privilege of riding with the Snowbirds.
I was in the Snowbirds.
The Snowbirds from Canada. That's what that's one of their best.
No, you got to ride in a jet?
I got to ride in the jet, yeah.
No kidding.
Walk them through a little bit about that.
Oh,
Seeing the
God,
Hollywood signs.
Oh, my
So
God. I've got to get in a jet one day.
It was unreal. I mean, it's the
gotta
funnest,
be.
it's the
It's gotta
funnest thing I've ever done. We went from the Hollywood sign to the backside of Catalina in 12 minutes.
Oh, my God.
Doing loop-de-loops
Unreal.
the whole time. It was just unreal. So I'm friends with a political person here in town, as a female, and they invited her to do it, and she said, "Shit, no, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Are you crazy?"
Well, I mean, I got to ride in a helicopter being in the military with the doors open. You're sitting on the edge, sitting on your helmet. You got an M16 ready to do battle, and you're going down and shooting your weapon. And I mean, it's insane
That seems
doing
fun.
that. Yeah, but a
Other
jet.
than the whole getting shot back at.
Oh, yeah,
other than
yeah,
that,
yeah,
That
yeah,
doesn't sound as
that-
fun.
that's
But
not
for
good.
those that don't know, so we have our Thunderbirds Air Force, we have the Blue Angels, the Navy.
Yeah.
Canada's best team is the Snowbirds.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Unreal.
their equivalent.
Unreal.
So it's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
I mean,
it was incredible.
First Top Gun, that was the best movie ever.
Yeah.
And then Maverick, it's like, okay, I got to get in a jet. Somehow I want to get into one of those jets and just see what that's like to do that.
It was unreal. So
Well-
I've been really hoping to get into a like a Blue Angels jet or a Thunderbirds jet. One of our
You
big
got into a
community-
jet, man. Be happy.
One
I've
of our
gotten
big
into one.
community players, Robin Wood from Robin's Nest.
Yeah.
She's somebody
She's
maybe
unreal,
you should
yeah.
have on. She got to go in the Thunderbirds last year.
Oh, wow.
Got
Unreal.
to fly with the Thunderbirds, Robin.
Unreal.
Well, our very own Mr. Don Ramsey, he was able to jump out of a helicopter.
Yeah,
With the
with the
Navy
Navy
SEALs.
SEALs.
Yeah, Navy SEALs,
A
yeah.
parachute and all
Yeah.
it came all the way down, and then he had to go straight to the hospital because I think he had appendicitis or something
He
at the
ripped
time.
something in his guts.
Unreal.
So I'll tell you a funny
He's an
story
old guy.
about the. Do you have time? Do we
Yeah,
have
go
time
ahead.
for a funny
Yeah,
story?
go ahead.
So I'm involved with the air show and the Code 4 team that runs our air show. It's unbelievable. Kevin Elliott and his team.
We're gonna have him on the show.
I think it's the greatest air show on the planet.
well, it is.
It's got to be
Hands
because
down
just
it
the
is.
sheer number of people that rush down there to see it and the lineup he has, unreal. So we go to this after party. That's all the pilots and the big players in the thing.
Saturday night,
Somehow I get invited. I shouldn't be there, but I'm there. And Carl and I are there. And there's, drinks are being imbibed and, having a good time and this and that. And I'm wearing my Surfing Walk of Fame Hawaiian shirt, right? Every year, Ren Spooner sponsors our Surfing Walk of Fame, and they give us shirts that all match. And we get a Surfing Walk of Fame patch on the side. And Rick's had many of them himself.
I saw one today.
We just got this
new
year's.
colors. Yeah.
Yep, this year's. But we're drinking tequila shots with the Navy SEALs. And the Navy SEAL chief, his name's John Miller, he says, "Hey, I love that shirt." And he's wearing his Navy SEALs Leapfrogs shirt. And I said, "I love your shirt." He says, "You want to trade?" I said, "I couldn't get the shirt off fast enough."
Did you really?
That
So
is cool.
I yanked the shirt
Unreal.
off. He pulls his shirt off.
That's unreal.
I have what I have, and he has a 6-pack and a size 24 waist, right? So I'm like trying to put his shirt on, like,
Oh, God,
just trying to
unreal.
stretch it over myself. I couldn't do it, right? I'm 220 pounds. That's not going on me. So I throw the shirt back at him. I went around the rest of the night shirtless, and he's wearing my shirt. 2 years later, he comes running up to me in the same party right after the air show, wearing my shirt. "John!" I'm like, "John, what's up? You're wearing my shirt." He said, "I need another one for my boss." I said, "Okay, I got another one. I'll give you another one, but you have to take me jumping." And he took me.
Unreal.
I got to jump with him. It
Yeah.
was super fun.
Great story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, we've had John Etheridge on our show, and thank you so much.
Oh, what an honor and a privilege
Oh,
to be with
it's
you
always
guys.
fun. It's always fun.
It's always fun with you, Mel, and with Rick. Well, I'm sorry Don wasn't here. I love Don as well. So
Yeah, we kick it.
Super fun.
We're good friends. We have a lot of, it's our home, man. This is our place, and this is what we enjoy. And I'm Mel Craig.
I'm Rick Brown.
And thanks for joining us for yet another episode of HB Unplugged. We're out.
Thank you, guys.